This is gonna draw flies, guys, so that's what the goal is. Get it stanky.
I ain't afraid of work. I ain't afraid of play. I ain't afraid to get the job done and do it my own damn way. I ain't afraid of life. Times like this. If you mess with my freedom, I'll tell you just what you can kiss. That's right.
Hey there, folks, this is Josh, Stoney Ridge Farmer. Welcome back to the farm. We've got something unique and interesting here in my hand. We're gonna show you that in just a second. So we've got a problem, guys. And again, this video is brought to you by our friends at Fly Fix. This is a product that I've tried out for about a month now. And if it didn't work, I wouldn't show it to you. That was the deal. They sent it out here to me. They said, give this a try, Josh. If you like it, show it on the channel. If you don't want to show it, whatever you want to do. It's on you, right? So what I have here is about 42 cows. I've got about 7 laying hens here on the farm / homestead, 2 dogs, and an innumerable amount of kitty cats, barn cats, to help keep the mice down on the farm. What we always have a problem with here on the farm, and I don't care whether you raise goats, pigs, chickens, dogs, cats, whatever it is you raise, when there's manure around and there's feces around and or there are animals and livestock, you're gonna have some flies, guys. It's normal to have some flies. The flies on the cows were abnormal, okay? We had an abnormally large amount of flies, typically somewhere between 2,000 and 5,000 flies around the cows at all times. Now we've got birds here on the farm that swoop down and catch those flies, but the birds couldn't even handle it, and I'm not about to spray my dogs, my cats, my chickens, or my cows with chemicals to help them prevent getting flies on them. I'm also not about to put an ear tag in, which gives a systemic pesticide to the animals that I'm going to eat. So this is a solution to your fly problem on your property. So come along today. We're going to show you how this works, how to set it up, and we're going to show you exactly what it's doing right now to keep the flies off my animals. Welcome to the Stoney Ridge Farm. This is your first time here, your 50 millionth time. Hit that like button. I'd love to have you back, so jump in, subscribe to the channel. All around us is a first generation 150 acre cattle operation. We raise our cows in a holistic manner. We don't use chemicals, we don't use sprays, and we don't give them antibiotics and medication if they're not sick. Makes sense, doesn't it? We move our cows almost every day here on the property, and we keep the cows rotating, and it cuts down on the parasite load, and it helps our grass to recover and our cows to get fat. So what we've got here, this is called Fly Fix. It's a little net that's designed to catch flies. It'll be shipped to you kind of flat, just like this right here in a box, and this is a hook that we'll hang it up on. Now there are a few tips and tricks I'm going to give you guys, because people hang these in their barns and they're like, oh, they don't work. If you look at reviews of them, they're like, oh, they don't work, oh, whatever. They do work. However, you've got to hang them fairly low to the ground, okay? So that's something that's important. You don't want to hang them up next to the woods, because when you do that, critters come out of the woods and they'll eat the bait. So here's how it works. There's a hook in the inside right here, and there's a hook right here on the outside. I'm going to bring that up. You can't really see this, but when you get yours, you'll understand. That hook supports a cone. This cone, and you can see that cone right there, is where the flies will fly up in. So it's the fly's natural instinct not to fly away this way or that way. It's the fly's natural instinct to buzz up and fly away, okay? What they do is they buzz up, they fly away, and they go in the little hole here, and they're trapped inside of this little trap. Now I'm gonna hang this guy up. I'm gonna show you guys how to make the bait. Now the bait needs to be stanky, okay? Stanky, stanky. And here's how the bait plate sits in here. This is just a light duty plastic. This is a very inexpensive fly trap. You just set that up in there, and that supports your bait. Super simple, couldn't be easier, right? Okay, we'll tip this guy back out. All you gotta do is squeeze the cup a little bit, sits it right in there, okay? That supports it. Again, you don't want that right next to the woods, because critters like possums and raccoons will come up and get in there. Here's what I use, and it's important that your bait gets wet. I've also used eggs in these too, okay? So I've got a little bit of cat food, dog food, anything like that will work just fine, and I'll pour it in here, just like so. About 3/4 of the way full. Now, I've got some old chicken bones from a rotisserie chicken that I ate the other day. I saved these, nothing goes to waste on the farm, and if it gets ate, I've got more, okay? And I'll put some of these old chicken bones and gristle and stuff like that over in there. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to make something stinkier than the cow, okay? Or stinkier than the chicken. Or if this is your horse barn, something smellier than your horse. You can also take a spoon or a spatula or a stick and put manure in here. Next thing we need to do is put a little bit of water in here. Everything that's in there needs to be nice and wet. This is gonna draw flies, guys, so that's what the goal is. Get it stanky. Got a little pot right here that has a little bit of rainwater that I caught from the rainstorm we had last night. Now, we'll take this and it balances itself, guys. It's really cool. We'll stick it right up in here, squeeze it just a little bit, just like we did before. Set it right in there, just like that. And then this will go down and hang by where the flies hang out. Typically, this works much, much better in an area where the cows are constantly hanging out. So a shady spot and or near a gate, because flies would like to congregate on the gate, and by the waterers. And by the water source is the very best place to put it. That's what I've found. And I have filled this thing literally up to here with flies. We've got less flies right now, but this works. We'll take you down. We'll show you how we hang this up. I've got 2 of them hanging where the cows are right now. You guys might hear some cows mooing. This is what I'm doing. I'm hanging it on my poly wire right there. So it'll hang in place just like that. Let's show you the ones that I already have in place down here. And I just baited these. You can see the cows are right here by the gate. And if you look at the gate, it's covered in flies. You see all those flies on there? There's probably 150, 200 flies on the gate right here, okay? So what I do, I've got the poly wire hanging here, and you can hang this on barbed wire. You can make your own little setup like this, but I hang it here, and you see there's flies right there. Flies will go onto the meat, onto the stinky stuff, and it takes a couple days for it to get good and stinky, and they'll go right up in that trap. Let's go over here to this one. I think we already have some flies in here. Oh yeah. So flies are on the outside, flies are on the inside. You can see them buzzing around in there, okay? When they fly up from the bait, they go right in that little hole and they cannot escape. That's how it works. Look in there. We've already got, what, 15, 20 flies, something like that? So we're gonna give these guys a few hours and come back, maybe even a day or so, and come back and show you guys. I'm also gonna show you how I set them up at the cattle waterers, and that's where you need to target your flies. So we'll see you guys in just a little bit once we catch a bunch of flies. Guys, we're gonna go up here, we're gonna check the fly traps right quick. The cows are mooing and carrying on. They just don't have a lot of flies anymore because I've caught so many, but we probably have a couple hundred in the traps right now. So like I said, I like to keep them near the waterers. There is a bunch of flies that will never bother a cow again, or me. And then right here, we also have a bunch more, okay? If you leave this alone for about 3 days, you're gonna have to empty these. Now, nothing goes to waste on the farm, so I empty these into the chicken coop once the flies die, and there'll be a big pile of flies in the bottom of those, and the chickens will chow down and gobble them all up. So, pretty awesome. Woo! You fussy thing? Well, guys, I'll post a link to that fly trapping solution, chemical-free fly trapping solution. I'll post a link for you guys down in the video description. I appreciate you watching the channel today. I just wanted to show you what I was doing and what works with the cows. And this is Butthead. Hey, Butthead, how you doing? We call her Butthead because Butthead likes to butt me. Yeah, good girl. You like that camera? Well, thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you next time on the Stoney Ridge Farm channel. Please hit that like button, jump in, subscribe. I'd love to have you back here with me. Thank you. Take care. Woo!
Well, come on down to the Stoney Ridge. Bring your wife and bring your kids. We're living life pure and sweet. That's the way it's supposed to be, Stoney Ridge. Woo!
This is Josh, Stoney Ridge Farmer. I've got to clear my throat. Got about 42 cows, 2 dogs, I don't even know how many kitty cats, and I want to go! Oh my goodness gracious.